So we live, and I was just about to put it on Instagram. Welcome back, guys, to another new episode of Qatartainment with your main host here, the best one of all, single QTR. Don't you just love that reaction? And of course, I got my best buddy here, Tim, aka the Kiki Amriki, and Lodi One Kenobi.
Hello.
What was that?
You're
like,
he's,
were you doing?
He's being Obi-Wan.
Yeah, I had to.
Were you doing your Game of Thrones?
It's
when you did that Valar Morghulis thing?
Yeah. It's fine.
Valar Morghulis.
All right, so we were supposed to talk about comics this week, but we a little busy because life and being grown-ups sucks. So there were 4 that we were going to talk about. We'll do this next week since you got through half of one.
Yes.
I got through 3 of them. I read them all already, but I wanted to refresh. But Clint read them all like a big boy and very good.
I read them all. I didn't take care of my kids and my family for the podcast.
Well, that's why you read them at night. I was editing stuff and things like that. And, I read them at night. I was trying to get caught up here, but once everybody got here, everybody was talking, and I couldn't concentrate. So anyway, what we're going to talk about this week is Aziz's opinions on things.
Oh.
Because they are amazing
now,
in the worst way possible.
For those of you who don't know Aziz, this is Aziz the Hobbit. Okay? Now, he is one of our main hosts. He's been given a little bit of a timeout for reasons that we are about to divulge right now. Yeah. So Tim,
so let's
take it away.
We're going to go with the one that he just said right before we went live, that if someone is acting and they don't have a lot of dialogue, it's not acting. So we were talking about like The Quiet Place. And he said because people aren't talking a lot, that they're not acting. Because I guess acting requires only your mouth and nothing else.
So what's your opinion about that, Lodi One Kenobi?
I have nothing to say. Like, miming is not acting, apparently. So if you're... Spider-Man, he makes a point. Like, for example, if Spider-Man, if he puts on a mask, and that's why they had to remove the mask in all superhero movies.
No, not
because,
really.
Yeah, because if you put on the mask, then it's not acting. Because you can't see.
It's totally acting. Because if you look, they have to do their movements a certain way. They have to do all the, still emoting or whatever, conveying the energy. And
there's a lot of choreography in it.
I'm playing devil's advocate here, but I'm really finding it hard to play the devil's advocate.
What was the Jerry Lewis movie, The Bellboy? The entire movie, he doesn't say one word. And I think he got nominated for an Oscar for that. It was a comedy. It was all physical acting and then the eyes and everything else. All right?
Yeah, Mr. Bean. You can just Mr. Bean. Well, yeah, I think that's the best.
Yeah, most of Mr. Bean's acting was very hilarious. Let's be honest. For the classic comedy type, that what do you call it, doofus comedy. He barely does any dialogue, and yet his body movement
and face and everything,
made him iconic as Mr. Bean.
And that's why whenever he says anything, it just makes an impact. Like,
and the eyes, all that stuff.
And that smile, a bit grossed out, but you at least know he's gonna be funny and doing stuff.
But let's go back to The Quiet Place, all right, or A Quiet Place, part 1 and 2. Okay, so you've got a movie about, since you haven't seen it, it takes place in the near future. These creatures have come from, I guess, underground or the space. Did they ever say? I don't even remember. They just come, like a Lovecraft thing. They just appear. All right. They can't see. They're attracted to sound. Okay. So if anybody makes a sound, they go to wherever that source is and they start attacking.
Wait, isn't that the one with the deaf girl?
Yes.
Oh, then I have seen it.
Right.
Yeah.
Again, lots of really tense moments and really sad moments and tons of emotion without needing dialogue. But
the usage of sign language was very, very crucial in this movie, considering the fact that these creatures needed to hear something so that they can actually attack their prey. Not to mention the people, any actor had to literally move quietly. We're talking tippy toes.
But realistically speaking, how do you survive that?
That kind of apocalypse.
Yeah, that kind of you have bodily functions, right? Like you can't. Sometimes when you eat, you can't control. Sometimes you would have to.
Yeah, but it's not gonna be that loud.
No, I know, but still.
Which takes
any sound that you make there.
which takes us to a cult which was made during that apocalyptic time, who had to cut off their tongues for that particular reason. You know, any sound you make literally using your tongue is simple. You know, just
Is
like
that in the second one?
what? Quiet Place?
No, you're talking about a cult that cut off their tongues.
Yeah, yeah, it's in the movie.
Bro, that's not A Quiet Place. You're talking about that one that was on Netflix.
Yeah.
With the girl from Sabrina.
Oh.
That movie sucked. Anyway.
Sorry.
That
Sorry.
was like a knockoff.
Forget what I
of
said.
A Quiet Place.
Forget what I said.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then if you.
What you know the one
for
he's
example-
talking about? It was those little bat creatures.
Which one? Sorry. No, sorry. I was reading the comments. That's why I couldn't pay attention much. We have some comments here from Hamad and Aziz. So he's saying,
Shield Man.
Yeah, Shield Man H. Low. Mr. Bean reminds him of Kabi. How do you pronounce it? Kabi Lame? Kabi Lame?
This
Meme
guy
guy from
that
TikTok,
basically every video he watches and he goes
Yeah, that's easy
and he makes
money, man.
and he
Did
makes
you know he
like,
was in? Did you know he was in Qatar?
I know.
He-
He's
he was
an
in a movie.
ambassador. He's an ambassador.
he makes
man.
$7.5 million, I think, or no, $750,000
Just by
for
making-
one post.
Yeah.
Just for making
to
a
go.
yeah,
Oh
just
my God.
yeah. This goes back to our point we were making earlier. He doesn't have. He's not an actor, but he's a big TikTok star who literally does small movements with his body, and he's
Very little talking.
very little talking to no talking.
Do you think if we do that in podcast, we'll be famous?
Yeah, we'll do a podcast
Let's see
about
who-
mining.
No, and then we're not doing audio podcasts anyway, so
And let's see who actually gets us.
Yeah.
You know.
maybe an ambassador of something. Anyway,
All right, so that was opinion number one. That's super good.
are we counting down on the?
No, because they're
Top 10,
they're all
top 10.
horrendous. There's no order that you can put them in because they're all like toilet paper. You know what I mean? Now the other one that I thought was fantastic was basically anything that's older than 10 years isn't good because it's going to look and sound bad.
Oh, we're talking about 80s movies?
Movies,
Please.
shows, anything.
Please, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
So, I want to ask my dear friend Aziz, has he ever heard of Lethal Weapon? Braveheart? Any Mel Gibson movie that he was known for? Predator? Commando?
This,
Arnold Schwarzenegger? Terminator 2? Terminator?
but I do understand in a sense, you know.
What are
it's-
they? What are you?
See what I'm going with?
No, I don't. Like, are you talking about action movies or what?
Yes, yes. Because
What a-
he judged them based on the fact that he thinks that they're old.
Okay, yeah, but what about like
It was just up top of my
Citizen Kane, Dr. Zhivago?
Yeah, I was just at the top of my head.
Godfather. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, but I was
Airplane.
just airplane. Airplane.
Airplane.
I should watch the sequel.
No.
Why?
It has nothing to do with the Zucker brothers or whatever.
Okay.
It's completely different people who were just like, oh, we'll take the name and put it on something else, you know?
But it's very difficult. But to be fair, it's very difficult to watch old films. You have to have that. For me,
Yeah.
because you're used to the films that they have that you're watching now.
Exactly.
The ones where you don't have to think.
No, like no, it's not that. Like color, the pace is much faster. You know when you watch old films,
Let me get to this point.
when you watch old films, they're used to slow paced stories, and then they give you the climax at the end. You earn the climax at the end.
That crazy character building.
Yeah, the character.
and
Like,
It's crazy. Character
Like,
building.
which
why
one
would
was
you do
that? Kaiser Soze.
The usual suspect.
Usual Suspects.
Adding depth to your film and layers to where they're fun to watch again. Speaking of, so Christopher McQuarrie, the guy who made all the last bunch of Mission Impossible movies with Tom Cruise, he wrote The Usual Suspects, okay? And then he did a movie called The Way of the Gun, which is amazing. But the problem is the trailer was very bad, and it used Limp Bizkit's break stuff.
Break stuff.
That's what it used. And this movie is like, it has really good humor. It's very dark humor, but it's pretty serious. There's so much violence, and there's a lot of other things where there's a lot of double meanings to things that people say. Like there's a part where they have kidnapped this woman, all right? And they're teaching her how to play hearts. but everything they're saying is also the situation that they're stuck in and how they get out of it. So there's like crazy depth, and then there's things where they're hinted at, but they never come out and say it. Like one of the people is related to somebody else in the movie, but you don't figure it out until the end. It's one of my favorite movies ever, but a lot of people haven't seen it. Again, it's one of those things that was ruined by marketing. But now I think a lot of people would, when I show it to them, they're really surprised. It's got probably the best shootout ever made. At the end of the film, it's like a 20-minute shootout out in this, like, in the desert. All the guns and stuff are real. All the reloading is all tactical. It's fantastic. But again, that was like, I don't know, 98, 99.
Is a shootout better than Hot Fuzz shootout? Have you watched Hot Fuzz?
Yeah, Hot Fuzz is great, but this is like they're one's shooting a 45, one's shooting a 9mm. One guy's shooting a revolver. Like they end up fighting all these old guys at the end because they're trying to escape and get this money, and the people that this guy brings, and the guy is James Caan.
Okay.
So like the acting is amazing. You got James Caan, Juliette Lewis, Benicio del Toro, Ryan Phillippe, Taye Diggs, Nikki Katz. Like the cast is like super great. Mm-hmm. But like I said, you've got all this. They're keeping track of their ammo, and they're communicating and all this kind of stuff.
It's proper tactical shootout, you mean? Okay.
Yeah, but there's also like really funny moments and good moments. The ending, not so funny. I won't spoil it, but
Well, you had me at break stuff, man.
Yeah, it's such a weird movie. A song that they put for the trailer. One of the best pursuits ever in a film, and it's not fast. Like they're going down an alley and they have their doors open and they have their feet out because they're trying to time who's going to jump out first and what are we going to do if we do it. But again, it's over 20 years old, so a lot of people haven't seen it. Like what you said. I don't think that's a valid point, like the color, because look at The Wizard of Oz.
True.
Amazing color, all that kind of stuff. But people don't really go back, because if it's not on streaming service or whatever, they don't watch it. And that's one of the bad things. The streaming services, they don't put enough of the older things. Amazon does okay, but Netflix and the others aren't doing it very well.
I'm trying to honestly, I agree with you on this. Maybe it's because we don't have the patience as we did before, it's because most of the movies we used to see before streaming services came to Qatar or in general, we used to watch them on VHS or DVDs, right? So the latest movie I'm trying to watch, and I am failing honestly, is Seven Samurai by Akira Kurosawa. Now, those of you who know me, I love samurai movies, but the problem is I think I should say this, too affected by modern cinema these days to actually properly enjoy a really old black and white movie.
But you know what? You've played Ghost of Tsushima, right?
Yes.
So that's a Kurosawa.
The game is inspired by Akira Kurosawa's movies, which makes it very iconic.
Yes.
Because it's an iconic film, the Akira Kurosawa movies.
Yeah.
Like Kagemusha, Seven Samurai, many others.
Most of them.
And later on, they inspired Magnificent Seven.
Yeah, a lot of westerns are based off of his stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And then the Magnificent Seven inspired the Magnificent Seven, a remake.
Okay.
By Denzel Washington.
But it works. Have you tried putting on the filter when you play the game?
What do you mean?
Ghost of Tsushima. Have you tried putting on the filter when you played it? You didn't.
Man.
You appreciated the colors. You never tried to
I appreciate the colors, but I never did it.
You should.
He commented on that one time. Many times, actually.
You really should.
You told me I should play it in Kurosawa mode.
It's not the other one, the newer one, the side scroller, Trek to Yuma. That's another one. It's Japanese. It's inspired by Kurosawa. It's black and white.
Oh, man. I should definitely play that.
The ending sucks, but,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just play. It changes the whole thing. It's like you're really watching a Kurosawa film. It's really good. Works very well.
Does it get those lines? The lines.
Oh yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah,
you get the lines.
Old film effects. Yeah, it does.
You
can like adjust also.
You can adjust the filter.
Yeah, there's some things you can adjust in there, like take the noise out of the thing, the grain.
Yes, the grain,
You know,
yeah,
that kind of
yeah.
stuff.
Oh, but we got a comment from from Aziz who said, "Why would anyone watch a movie that's in black and white?"
I don't know, like Schindler's List. You know what I
Schindler's
mean?
List. There's a lot of movies, even the new ones, no, well, newer ones, which has a black and white filter. I couldn't just remember the top.
There are a lot
Um,
of movies within the past 20, 30 years that were made in black and white because black and white film was cheaper. Like Darren Aronofsky, his first big movie, or the first movie that went really well, was Pi, about a mathematician who figures out that like there's a certain number sequence that you can see all through nature. And he also figures out that you can apply it to the stock market and use it to basically make a lot of money. And then people find out about it and they're trying to get it from him. Some people are trying to kill him. It's really good. A lot of paranoia and everything, but it's black and white. It was like 16 millimeter, but it was great, you know.
Do you think that black and white movies were longer by duration than regular color movies because of the fact they had to add text to the scenes? So it goes like this, and then you get the text.
Are you talking about a silent film?
Yes,
That's
yeah.
different. Black and white and silent film was completely different.
Oh yeah,
thing.
that's right. Because they added there were added sound afterwards.
Yeah.
Have you watched? Did you watch Better Call Saul?
Yeah.
Yeah. The last
Yeah,
few
the
episodes were
flashbacks.
black and white.
Yeah, don't spoil it. I didn't see him yet.
Oh no.
I don't pirate, so I haven't seen him.
Oh, okay.
I really want to see the last season before somebody ruins it for me, but I'm gonna wait till it comes to streaming.
Use a VPN.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, the only way for us to watch good stuff is through VPN here. So thanks,
Yeah,
streaming services.
ExpressVPN when we're sponsored.
I prefer Surfshark.
Is it good?
Yeah,
Wow,
it's really good.
Wow, Shield Man is going to town on comments. He's actually attacking Aziz.
Yeah.
He said, "What do you mean? Why would anyone watch black and white movies? I will go to war defending my claim that many black and white movies are epic. Shield Man, you are the man." All right, but to defend the point, to make more of this point, black and white movies were the trend back then, before social media and marketing and things like that. What was the marketing back then during the black and white movies? Newspapers, right? They didn't have infomercials. They didn't have commercials like the way that we did. And TV back then was super expensive. I'm not talking like big screen TVs. We're talking about small,
Yeah,
19,
like 17-inch inside
Yeah.
of and that was like the big one.
That tuning thing, whatever
Yeah,
you call
and,
it.
yeah, exactly. And that affected marketing of the movie and how good of a quality aside. You can spend hundreds of millions of dollars on a movie to be made, awesome budget and everything. But if you don't make good marketing, nobody will come to see it.
It's not just that. Like, again, budget effects. Like Night of the Living Dead, right?
Yeah.
The original. Okay. Amazing. It was made in what, the mid '60s, like and there was all that social commentary like about Vietnam War and racism and all that kind of stuff.
Cool.
But the reason it was black and white is because that's all they could afford. That was the only reason they did it in the black and white. Of course, they forgot to put the copyright in the title, and so it immediately went to public domain. So George Romero made no money off of it, which is unfortunate. But that's why you've seen so many remakes of it, and only one of them has been good. The Tom Savini one. All the others were really bad.
I think I've seen a movie 10 years ago, and I had massive appreciation for it, called The Artist, if you've seen it. It's a silent black and white movie that was released in 2012, I think. And when I saw it, I actually enjoyed it. I gotta say, I actually like the whole musical thing and the dancing and all that. And when they added the tap dancing to the movie, it was nice. But sometime I couldn't actually follow the movie, because it's silent. So it goes like this, Glenn. So look at me.
Okay. No, I'm looking.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So it goes like this. All right.
Yeah, and it stops.
And it stops and shows you what he said. All right. And during that movie, what was the ironic part? They were actually transitioning to audio.
Sorry?
It was a silent movie
Okay.
about an actor.
Okay.
The artist. Okay, it was a silent movie about an actor who was going down on his luck because he was transitioning the world of cinema
When they went to talkies.
when they went to talkies.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah,
That was actually not a good thing.
explain.
At the point in time that we switched to audio,
Yeah,
right? The cameras with the audio.
yeah,
They were very big. They were clunky. The film was completely different. Like, it caused a lot of issues. If you look at the films before that time, and most cinematographers will agree with this, like Deakins and all these other people, they were making so many strides and so many innovations and things. Like, if you look at like older, like the Buster Keaton and the Chaplin movies and all that kind of stuff, there were so many crazy camera movements and effects and all that kind of thing. But once they switched to the others, scenes became more static. And because the cameras were actually loud, they had to put the stuff further away from the camera, with the microphones and all that kind of thing.
right.
If it had just been, they said, I watched this thing called, I think it's like A Dream of Light or History of Light or something. It's a documentary about cinematography. And it goes all the way from the beginning all the way up until when the documentary was made, which was like 2004. And they go into all those different things, and then they show the evolution of it. And, it kind of hurt. Like, there's been almost no... I mean, there has since, like, James Cameron and all these people have, like, tried new things. But up until past couple decades, there was almost no evolution from that time until now.
And since we're mentioning James Cameron, now the black and white transitioning to talkies and things like that. Now, since then, black and white movies have ceased to exist. But now, people are actually re-releasing movies that were released 10 years ago. Two of them are a good example right now. Spider-Man, No Way Home. That was called the Fun for Stuff version or something.
They just added a couple scenes so
9
they can
minutes.
make more money.
9 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and do you know why? Because it's competing with Avatar. Because Avatar, The Way of Water, is coming out in December. Right?
Okay.
Let's just agree it's a Christmas movie. And when did Spider-Man come out? Same time, in December.
What?
They're re-releasing the movies again, so they can have no chance of beating the box office.
What is it about this re-releasing thing? Like this Avatar that just came out again?
Well, that I can understand. Okay, when I saw Avatar, I didn't even know it was 3D. Myself and my friend Dan, we went to see it. Yeah, we went to see it in Kuwait, and it was in 2D. It was still cool.
And that was in 2009.
But then, but all these people were like, "Oh my god, amazing, coolest thing I've ever seen." I was like, "What the hell are you talking about?"
That was the marketing at that time. They were
Yeah, but I was in
the-
Kuwait, and there was no ads.
Oh,
like,
okay.
No one knew-
Yeah.
Sorry, and no one knew. For example, Dread, the movie Dread, was also in 3D. That's the point. Marketing. People need to make sure that they listen and see the poster so they can understand if a movie's in 3D or not.
It's not just that, but by that time, the internet stuff was being more popular. I never watched TV in Kuwait, or even here. I don't watch TV. I don't have it. I have streaming and I have YouTube and stuff. Why would I? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I never see ads unless it's on YouTube. That's it.
They didn't have IMAX in Kuwait? Sorry, they didn't have
They
3D in
they
Kuwait?
did, but the theater we went to.
We didn't have that. Okay.
Right, so we saw it and we were like, "Well, that was cool." And then later we found out that it was like 3D and it was crazy and all that kind of stuff. So, and again too, that was what 12 years ago, right? So think about how many kids didn't see it and everything. Although it's not really a kid movie, but whatever.
Yeah.
So re-releasing it when they're about to put out the second one makes sense because a lot of people completely forgot about the thing. They forgot about Dances with Wolves meets Aliens, but. Because that's basically what the movie is.
Or even Alien vs. Predator. Or Alien vs. Predator 2.
What?
Alien vs. Predator.
Avatar.
Avatar?
Alien versus Predator.
What about it?
Well,
Where's the
well,
Predator?
what?
What's that have to do with Avatar is what we're saying.
Well,
If you watch Avatar, I'm saying it's Dances
Sorry.
with Wolves
We're a bit random here.
and all the military stuff from
Yeah.
Aliens. The same ships. Everything looks like what was in Aliens.
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
Except the aliens that just come out of your chest.
No.
I am feeling really uncomfortable right now.
He's in like another.
Did you watch Avatar? Have you watched Avatar?
I have, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I
So this new one coming in December, is it a sequel or is it
Yeah,
a,
it's a
of
sequel.
course
a
it's a
sequel?
It is a
Okay.
sequel.
It's the one that's all in the ocean and stuff.
Yeah, that's what they call the Way of Water.
I haven't followed. Sigourney Weaver still there?
All the people are there, and they got
Oh.
some new people.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool.
More new humans, more new Navi. You know.
Yeah, like all new tech and everything. That's why it took so long because they were perfecting his stuff.
Now the question is, now, we're comparing sequels that have a long period of time. All right. So for example, Avatar had what's the timeline of that sequel? 12 years.
Yeah.
All right. Because it came out, or is it 13? 13.
Yeah.
Because it came out in 2009. All right. And it grossed over what? 2.8 billion.
That is a lot.
Yeah. And there's Top Gun, right? And Top Gun Maverick. Now, Top Gun Maverick grossed a lot much higher than the original Top Gun. Of course, this was in the 80s, and this was in 2022, and apparently was considered the most highest box office movie of Tom Cruise's career.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the first one to ever reach a
It
billion.
basically saved movie theaters.
Exactly.
You know, that and Spider-Man.
No Way Home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Both movies or just one? You know.
Both. They both had like massive, box office because people actually wanted to get out and see them in theaters. And then one of the reasons too that Top Gun did so well is because it's mostly all practical, and people are tired of like CGI crap. So to go see something and you have real planes, real scenes, real shots, like that first scene where I still haven't seen the movie yet because
Oh, you haven't?
work.
Okay.
No,
You should.
I want to.
You should.
But there's that scene in the beginning where he's in that experimental jet and he flies over, and you
Yeah,
see
yeah.
like the roof of the shack lift off. That's real. They only got to do that scene once because when he took off so fast it destroyed the set.
Oof.
You know what I mean? So people want to see that. They want to see like real stuff.
Did you? Just a question. Did you guys watch the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
First Top Gun.
Yeah.
You liked it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's all right. It's super gay, but it's good. Dude, it's like one of the gayest movies
with
ever.
The boys.
Yeah, playing with the boys.
I feel
Oh yeah. It's
I
like,
feel the need.
And he's
The
like,
need
and
for
then
300.
Iceman does the thing at him, and they're in the shower like half of the movie, you know.
Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
I mean, Val Kilmer in '85. Val Kilmer in 2022.
Feel sorry for the guy, but yeah.
I think he actually had throat cancer. That's why.
Yeah, it was good that they got him in there and the way they did it and stuff. You
You
know?
can't have that movie doesn't have much legacy characters left. Honestly, legacy actors actually. You can't just bring in Tom Cruise and.
Yeah, but they got Miles Teller as Rooster Goose's son, which was
Yes.
pretty good casting. He looks like him.
He looks like
you know.
Exactly.
So, yeah, for nostalgic, that's a throwback. The
Yeah, it
old-
was totally like.
Then you go good.
It wasn't like
gracious,
full
great
on
ball.
nostalgia, like remember this, remember
Yeah.
this. It has those things in there, like towards the beginning, but then it does its own thing and stuff. You know.
But you know what? So this is the first Top Gun we watched, me and my wife. So I said, okay, fine. It was very good. We liked it a lot.
Mhm.
And I said, let's try watching the first one. And then we we didn't like it. We were disappointed. Probably because it's, I don't know. Your first exposure was this one. The
Yeah,
recent one.
Yeah.
it's-
My wife saw the second Top Gun. Then we both saw the first Top Gun the same night.
Oh, so how did you like the first Top Gun?
Well, I saw the first Top Gun a long time ago. It was.
Oh, you liked it.
I still liked it.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, it's good.
This, but with her, it was the second one, then the first one.
The only thing is, so in the new Top Gun, because of the new technology and everything, so you
Yeah.
can catch the jets. So you know the because they're very quick, so the camera now can catch the flight. But when you look back on the first one, it's like
Yeah, well, that's because most of those
Yeah,
shots
yeah.
weren't real jets. You know that, right?
Yeah.
for the new one, they're CG. You mean?
No, the old movie, the original that you're talking about, where you barely got a
Oh, you
glimpse.
barely get
Because they
see-
weren't. A
Oh,
lot of it
really?
wasn't
I
real
didn't know.
jets.
Okay,
They had like
okay.
models, right? And then they had another thing where they would put like a jet onto, like a scale model onto this like stick thing, and then to make it look like it was flying, they would film from a lower angle, and they had the camera on this thing where a guy would press the button on a drill, and the drill had a wooden thing that went like this, and it made the camera go like that.
Shaky.
So it looked like the flame.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's the kind of stuff they had to deal with then. They couldn't
Yeah.
get the guys into real cockpits. So what they did was they sat them in like fake cockpits, and then they like put the camera and they were shaking
Yes,
it
they were
and
shaking
all that
it,
kind of.
yeah.
Where in the new one, they got them in real cockpits. They had like 3 months of flight training. They had access to like actual F-18 Super Hornets and stuff. But to do that, it was like, what was it, like $67,000 an hour?
Oh yeah,
Just
rent one.
yeah, man.
How
like-
about we do a comparison at least of the budget of what we used on both movies? So Top Gun,
Okay.
Maverick. All right, at least we know how much they spent on the movie. All right, for Top Gun Maverick, they spent $170 million. Maverick.
That's 170 million. That's
Yeah,
small. And,
Yeah, $170 million.
okay.
So
Well, that's average for like a tentpole movie now.
exactly,
Mm.
but it
150 to 2.
but it made it up with the box office of
Oh, yeah.
1.4 billion.
It's still making more.
What, still?
Oh yeah.
Still in theaters?
Still in theaters, dude.
Oh damn.
Yeah. Normally, when you watch something in theaters, like in 3 weeks, it's available on streaming.
They have it available on streaming, but it's still in theaters because people want to see. You know.
Yeah, but this one took a lot of time. Like me and my wife were waiting for it to come out. The
Yeah.
moment it went out on Apple, we just bought it.
Yeah.
We watched it again. It was
This is what I like.
Banger.
People actually still support content, by buying the content. This
Stop calling movies content.
right?
That's the worst thing. That's what happened with Warner Brother Discovery or whatever. They call everything content, and as soon as you do that, it takes away like the feel of the artistry or whatever. Like okay, my job during the day is a content creator,
Okay.
but I'm not a content creator. I'm a filmmaker. I make documentaries, and I've traveled like all over the world making short films and stuff.
Okay.
If someone's like, I liked your content,
that's your content.
you know what I mean? Like, dude, it's
Films.
a short film. It's a film. You know what I
Well-
mean? I get that everything is content now and stuff, but
Well,
good
it's
lord.
a technical term. It's a technical term, at least. But yes, you're right. It does devalue its artistic
Yeah.
value, which is something that should not be done. Anyway, for Top Gun, the first Top Gun, 15 million was the budget. 15.
That's fine. It's a 1980s, so
Yeah, but the box office so far is 357 million.
wow.
That is like what?
Dude, no movie got more people to join the military
except
than that
Top
movie.
Gun.
except
Really?
Top Gun.
Top Gun did.
Yeah.
And the new one, that's why the Navy was like, sure, we'll work with you. Because they remember, hey, you remember when we did that? Because I knew 2 guys who joined the Navy because of that movie. You know what I mean? And the thing is, everyone thought, if I join the Navy, I can be a pilot. No, you can't. You know what I mean? You can be the guy in the flight deck that goes,
Ironically,
Well,
this
okay,
is
it's
literally
not
this is one of 2 movies that Tom Cruise did as a Navy man. One of them, Top Gun, of course. The first one was Top Gun.
Few Good Men.
A Few Good Men is the second one. Yeah, he was a Navy lawyer
He was NCIS, right?
in CIS.
Not the stupid show.
The
But
series
that was his
NCIS.
actual. No, he was.
No,
'cause
NCIS is
There's NCIS and there's JAG.
no,
JAG.
that's Jag.
Right.
We're talking the one in Few Good Men. He's the Jag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The JAG is the prosecutor.
Yes,
Right.
prosecutor.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was actually a defense lawyer for a military defense lawyer.
Yeah.
for,
The JAG is the defense, and the NCIS is the prosecutors.
Yeah.
If I remember right.
Wait, if I'm not wrong, isn't NCIS like those guys who?
They're the actual investigators and
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh yeah.
Just like
Oh,
Air
I'm
Force
think-
has OSI,
I'm thinking
Office of
C-
Special
yes,
Investigation.
I'm thinking CSI.
CSI.
Yeah, CSI. They're the ones who gather evidence and analyze.
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Aziz, if there's anything that the classic films that I'd recommend, this one is a good one. A Few Good Men, watch it.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
If you like legal dramas, and honestly, I love
More
legal.
to me, that's more than a legal drama. You know what I mean? There's a lot more to it. It's just like
Conspiracy.
What was the one with Meg Ryan where she was a pilot? Not.
Oh yeah, she was
it Line
she
of
was
Fire
she was a
or-
stewardess, I think. What? She was a
What?
stewardess.
No, she was a helicopter pilot.
Oh, no, I'm thinking of a different movie. I think maybe.
She was a helicopter pilot. And I guess it was based off a true story or something. The chopper went down, and then a bunch of stuff happened on the ground, and then she ends up dying or something. So then there's like an investigation, and the guy's working his way through all of the other crew, and it's got like really good. Like Matt Damon was in there when he was younger, and
I didn't know All I know about Meg Ryan is she's usually into rom-coms, not
Yeah.
No, she
Sleepless
was
in
she
Seattle.
played like kind of a badass in this one. Like she's fighting people with guns and everything. Like
Oof.
yeah, but it was cool.
Damn.
I think it's called A Line of Fire or something, but that's another one that is kind of like A Few Good Men. There's like a lot of depth and dialogue, and
Do you
so
think
you should like it a lot because people are talking. That means they're acting.
But
this
it's
was
really
directed
good.
to Aziz the Hobbit, by the way?
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
really good. Like Jack Nicholson in that movie was brilliant. I loved it. I loved every.
I
minute of
want
it.
the truth
No, you can't handle the truth.
with more intensity, man.
Huh?
I want the truth.
You can't handle. I can't do it, Jack Nicholson.
Was
I'm
that,
sorry.
was that Opie? Right? What was that? Opie? The old show? Hey, and he talks like this.
Who's
Because he's like, you can't handle
Bart,
truth.
Bart and Ernie. Is it Bert and Ernie?
Oh, yeah, no, I can do that.
I'll do Barney.
Hey, Bert. What do you do, Bert?
can't handle the truth. I'm doing Barney. I'm doing
that-
Barney.
no,
That's the only voice I could do.
That's what's his name from The Simpsons.
No, that's Barney the dinosaur.
Who's the old boss?
He's a
No, who's the old boss? Not Smithers. Mr.
No,
Burns?
Mr. Burns.
No,
That was
that's
Mr. Burns.
no, that's
bro.
Barney from Barney the dinosaur. How can you not know that?
That did not sound like Barney.
I'll do it again. You can't handle the truth.
That is
No,
definitely
that sounds
Mr.
like
Burns.
that sounds like Bullwinkle or Rocky or whatever. the
Fine.
moose.
All right. Bullwinkle.
Anyway.
Can anybody do Rocky?
But anyway, the film's really good. Aziz,
Yeah.
watch it.
Here's another one that Aziz said. This one was tonight. Comic books aren't any good. They're boring, and they're not canon. Comic books aren't
if we
canon. The
if we
movies
can
are.
get Aziz's address to you guys right now, comic book lovers, we're gonna post it, and we're gonna make sure they know where you live, particularly because
Give them the email address, and they can send like digital comics that, and then he can look.
I'll
at the,
give them even.
He can look at the pictures.
Or you
and
can
go,
find-
"Duh,"
or you can
Aziz.
find his Twitch channel, Aziz the Hobbit. And he's actually commenting on our live. So, comic book lovers, defend your claim.
There's he has a point somehow. If it's like, for example, it's a game and there's a comic book adaptation of the game, then yes, then the comic book might not be canon.
Yeah, like there's a bunch of Assassin's Creed books, but they're
Yes.
supposed to be really good.
Yeah.
You
But
know?
but the first thing how it went is they made Assassin's Creed the game,
Yeah.
then they made Assassin's Creed comic books, graphic
Novels.
novels,
Yes.
things like that.
So yes.
And
Yes.
they even made some short films, like 30 minutes long.
Yeah, Ubisoft made one. It was really good.
Yeah.
It was with Ezio and his dad. You know.
Yeah, and they made a couple of others after them. Yeah, I think almost every single one of them had it, but they stopped.
I noticed they make very good short films. Like the have you seen the Far Cry short
Oh,
film?
yeah.
With boss and everything. Yeah, that was brilliant.
What?
Didn't they make?
They also made Mythic Quest. Yeah, Mythic
Yeah,
Quest.
yeah. They
Ubisoft.
They make it with them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Aren't they the ones who did the Division also?
Yes.
Yeah, the Division short films were really good.
Have you ever heard of Mythic Quest?
No.
It's about it's made by Ubisoft apparently.
It's
and
a comedy on Apple.
Yeah.
About a game development studio.
Yeah.
And the main guy, the brain behind it or whatever, is the guy from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Welcome to Wrexham.
Okay.
John, was it Rob McElhaney?
Yeah, and he's like a combination of Ragnar Lothbrok and Steve Jobs because of the beard. You know?
Okay.
Because he's got a long beard who looks like a Viking, and apparently he's too into himself, and he apparently likes his body for some weird reason. You always find a reason for him to be shirtless.
Well, that's the thing about that is a joke.
Yeah.
Because on the show that he's famous for, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, he did like 2 or 3 seasons where he just kept getting fatter for the show.
Huh.
Like he got to my size. He was fat as hell. And then, like on a break in one of the seasons, he just kept working out. But he kept wearing like chunky clothes and stuff. And then they just revealed that he was like super ripped. And it was the longest joke, like set up punchline, and and since then he's kept it. He just keeps working out and all that kind of stuff.
It makes you think about why did they do that for Thor on Avengers Endgame? Now, ironically, Thor, the original Norse god in Norse mythology,
Because he was a chunky guy anyway.
yeah, originally he was a chunky guy. So they didn't do that out of fun shits and giggles. They actually did that to slightly accurate, and he would look the same in the new God of War Ragnarok game.
It wasn't just that also, but when you get depressed and you're, lethargic and you're not going out and doing stuff, you're gonna gain weight. Like me,
Yeah.
I'm pretty fat right now. It's
Oh,
not
come
because
on,
I'm
man.
like
You look good.
bro.
You look good.
You haven't seen me naked, okay? Anyway,
Let's not go there.
yeah, that I know of. Anyway, but when you get depressed and you're not going out and you're not doing things, you're gonna gain weight. Now, for me, it was like a matter of I was always working, because I was doing so much freelance stuff to survive. But
Right.
But now that things are okay, I need to start cutting.
Of course.
I think it's not just that, it's the work that we're doing. So, because we're normally sitting in the computers,
Yeah.
Yes.
and that's what you do, you sit in the computer, you
COVID has,
Eating while you're
eat
working.
work, you feel hungry,
COVID made it that much.
exacerbated everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
For me, I remember I was working from home. I think for like 5 or 6 months. Yeah.
Only?
Yeah.
That's short, man.
Well, they needed people back in the office.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I think it was like there was a limit. Apparently, when they saw it was as safe as possible, they put people back in.
Mm.
By the end of when we were nearing the end of 2020, that's when they thought people were safe from COVID in Qatar.
I actually miss it. Working from home. It's much better.
Oh yeah, wait until the World Cup.
I mean, a lot of jobs can still do that, but companies have gotten back into that mode of no, you have to work from the
The
office. As a matter of fact, like there's so many jobs that you can still do from home that companies are having people basically fight them about having to come and work from the office. I can't remember, but there was just today I saw an article about one of the bigger companies that people didn't want to come work at the office yet because COVID is still an issue to a certain point. And they can do their jobs from home perfectly fine. Most people are more productive because you just get up, clean up, do your thing, and you can bang it out,
Yeah.
But the office mentality is, no, you have to be here for 8 hours and blah, blah, blah. Unless you're like, in a lot of like the really cool European countries where they do like 4-day work weeks. They work like 6 hours.
You have
They're
40 work
way
weeks
more,
in the world.
yeah, and they're way more productive, dude. They get more work done than 5-day, or in this case, in the GCC, 6 days a week.
What's their work hours though? Like in the European.
It's the
A lot of
same,
them
I
are
guess.
no, a lot of them are 4 days a week, like 6 hours a day.
6 hours a day for 4 days.
Damn.
Dude, when I was in Kuwait, there was a guy that I was roommates with, and we both worked at the same place. Okay, he did all of the graphics and like presentations and stuff for the company. Okay, and then I did all of the social media, the video, the photography, and everything. We would go in 9:30, 10, all right, and then we'd like bang out all of our stuff, and we'd roll out by like 2 or 3. And we tripled that company's profits in 2 months.
Wow.
Okay, we made them so much money. All right.
Imagine if you only worked for 2 hours. You could have multiplied by 10.
No, it was the right amount. You know
I'll
what I mean?
I'll tell you the truth. I can do my job from home in about 4 hours, and I don't even have to leave the living room.
Yeah, and you don't have people bothering you. You don't have a bunch of interruptions. You don't have a lot of like extraneous stuff. It's just you focusing and you bang it out and you're done.
And because of Microsoft Teams, you can even attend meetings from home.
Yeah, which most of them could be an email, but whatever.
Oh,
That's a side point. But
Exactly.
no, so basically, though, what happened was some of the people in the company, like the finance people and one of the supervisors of all the people who worked there, it was like a bowling alley, billiards, arcade games, and stuff. They got upset because we would come for like 5 days a week, 4 or 5 hours a day, and then we'd bounce. And they're like, we got to be here 5 or 6 days a week, 8 hours a day. So they ended up making us do that. And we ended up doing the same amount of work or less throughout that whole time because we would get to the point where we would run out of stuff to do. So we would do like he would bring up a thing on Photoshop or whatever, or Illustrator was what he was using, and I would bring something up on Final Cut or Photoshop, and then we would just, when somebody was walking by, you hit like Control Z, go back a couple steps. When they come back by, Control Shift Z to make it go forward back again, because like I don't have anything to do and I'm not gonna do like busy work. So if you want me to be here that long, fine.
It's actually, the sunk cost fallacy. I think that's what's driving it. So lots of companies have invested in buildings they've spent on buildings. They constructed buildings, or they
You-
have a
you-
lease commitment for 5 years, and nobody's using the building. So they say, "Oh,
Well,
we're spending."
Well, believe it or not, they want to keep that mentality that you have to know, you get to know your coworkers, you have to be a part of the company, you know, that whole image
That
thing,
you can do it like once a week. Maybe have a meeting in Zoom. You can do it in Zoom even. Even I mean. But,
Now, we've got a couple of comments here. Well, actually, our comment section is booming today. Nice. So one of them is here. This is interesting. Mr. Robot. Nice name, by the way.
Robot.
Robot.
Robot with a like buttocks. Robot.
Yeah, there's two T's there, and now you. All right. What do you guys?
Robotu?
Robot. All right.
Oh, robot.
What do you guys think of upcoming Marvel and DC movies? Mainly the new Avengers Khan Dynasty.
King, yeah.
All right. And Avengers Secret Wars.
Okay, so
It's
anything.
actually Secret Invasion, but yes.
Yeah, but I think that's going to be a show, not a movie, right? So I'm very excited with anything to do with Kang because the guy who plays him is such an amazing actor, and people don't realize it because he was the main character in Lovecraft Country, which is one of the best shows that's come out in probably the past 5 years. It did one season, and it won like every award you can think of. All right, but HBO had already canceled it because the viewership wasn't super high. Because you've got this horror show that's a period piece, and it goes into really deep stuff like the massacre at Tulsa, Oklahoma, while also talking about like Lovecraft stuff, like the different horror elements and the weird creatures and blood sacrifices, and it weaves all that together in this amazing story. So he was in that. He was really good in The Five Bloods as the younger son. So anything that he's in, I'm super stoked for. So I really want to see more of what he does with the character. He's gonna be the best villain. He's gonna be better than Thanos and Gore and all that. I guarantee it. If they give him the screen time that he deserves and needs. I mean, you saw how much at the end of Loki, like how much of an impression that he made. So I think it could be really good. As far as Secret Wars, I mean, it looks cool. Samuel Jackson's awesome. And I really love, what's the British actor?
But which one was it? Which British actor was it?
He
He played who?
he was also in the Rogue Squadron or whatever it was. Rogue One. He was the bad guy in Rogue One. I'm asking the wrong person. Ben Mendelsohn. All right, so Ben Mendelsohn is one of the best actors around, especially when it comes to villains. So I'm looking forward to seeing him and Samuel Jackson work with each other.
But the problem, not the problem. So the films, who will be the heroes then? Here, like the Avengers. I mean, who will consist of the team?
I mean, we have to get there. We have to see what happens with these other movies and shows and everything else. Because there's so much now, it's hard to. Like, dude, I still haven't seen Doctor Strange. I still haven't watched Moon Knight. I still haven't watched what's their name? They changed their powers. Miss Marvel.
Oh, okay.
I haven't watched She-Hulk.
She-Hulk.
So there's all these. I didn't see Shang-Chi.
She is actually an attorney in the comics.
Yeah,
she defended a lot of. I think in Civil War she was defending a lot of the Avengers when they were doing that. What do you call it? Oh, here it is. Just curious. Sorry, just curious. Why isn't Apex Legend popular among gamers in the Middle East?
It is. It's just not talked about as much.
I honestly think it's a great competitive.
It's the best battle royale by far. Every single thing it does, all the other battle royales copy. It had some issues with some network stuff for a while, just like Titanfall 2 did, all at the same time because of like hackers and all these other things. But it's definitely the best battle royale. It's cool when they let you do solo sometimes, but even when you jump in with like strangers, like you still have a chance of winning. The roster of characters is fun. I usually played like Loba, so I can help my teams. I'm usually a support or a tank. So I love it a lot. I haven't played a battle royale in a long time, but if I did, I would jump back into Apex, which I'm going to soon because I want to get caught up on my characters and things. But I know a lot of people who play it; they just don't talk about it. You know, I mean,
Well, that's the problem with the communities here, especially the gaming communities here in Qatar. There are a lot of them. You know,
Yeah.
you got the fighting game community, the mobile communities, the Overwatch communities, Super Smash Brothers communities.
yeah,
Apex, Valorant, they don't talk.
yeah.
You know, what's the problem?
Self isolation, and even then, there's not like a lot of outlets. It's not like the States where you all go to a place and you talk and things. If there is, it's amongst your friends. You know, so
Think of it this way. This is how we get together to play the video game. All right, you can either go to a majlis, all right, which has about 5 or 6 TVs. I'm serious here. All right, and everybody who has to bring their own PlayStation, Xbox,
Carry your
or
PlayStation with you.
no one brings an Xbox here. I would bring an Xbox because Xbox is awesome. But everyone here is PlayStation.
Yeah,
That's changing little by little because people are realizing what you get with Games Pass and all that kind of stuff.
I'm just saying, you gotta bring your stuff with you to play.
Like an old school LAN party, basically.
Exactly. You know, and it depends on the game. It's just cross-platform or something. You know.
Yeah, or like with Smash, like Kenji and those guys, they bring their controller and their Switch or
Yeah,
whatever.
that's
you know?
easy to carry than anything else. Honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it goes. And you know, all you need is just extra controllers if you want to play the game, you know, and one Switch, and you just hook it up to the TV.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to try the VR games. I think the barriers to entry for me is the waiting. I'm sort of an old school kind of guy. I want to, you know, when you die, you want to respond as quick as possible. Whereas in barrier games, you have to wait until the match is over. And then
No, you don't.
You don't.
No, dude. Apex, as soon as you die, you can bounce and jump in
really?
another game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I played Century. The last
The
couple.
dragon one.
Yes.
Yeah.
The last couple of nights. So when you die, you respawn at a different respawn area.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Now it is a battle. It is considered a battle royale game, right?
Nah, not really, because you come back. Battle Royale is like last person or last team standing.
Well, what if it's a skirmish? Because you know, it's like.
That's not a Battle Royale, though. Battle Royale basically got the name from the movie Battle Royale, a Japanese
It
movie.
came from a Fortnite battle royale.
No, it came from.
Just figuring the people here.
No one cares.
I'm figuring
The
you guys.
zombie. What was that zombie game? Something Z?
World War Z.
No,
It is World War Z.
it's not World War Z. You know what I'm talking about? The survival one where.
Nation Z.
No,
Which one? The
Aziz, Mr. Battle Royale. What was the not Z Nation? It was a battle royale
PUBG.
game. No, it was before PUBG. PUBG basically was a mod of
that game.
Daisy. I think it was called Daisy. Yeah.
Daisy.
AZ.
So that was the first BR, and then what's his name? Player Unknown. Basically took that, made it his own thing, put his name on it, you know. And since then, it's just gotten bigger.
I'm gonna tell this guy. No one cares that Fortnite is your favorite game.
Oh, but
Okay, honestly,
how can we? I could see it can be fun, whatever. All right.
did
I prefer.
you played it before, right?
Yeah, I used to play it a bunch. I played it more before it got like really popular, and like they started adding all the skins, and because it was free, you'd be playing against like little kids, and they'd be saying stuff, and it's like real annoying. But I was never like a builder. I would run around, sneak, and like blast people out of their thing or destroy their tower, and they die.
Like a real gamer.
You know, I won like 2 in a row one day, and I hadn't played for like a month just because I thought about what to do, and I'd just go.
I remember.
You know?
I remember. I got invites from you. You know, when Fortnite came out, like the first time in Qatar.
Yeah, but I think that was when I was playing Save the World.
Oh yeah,
That was the actual Fortnite game.
the story game, right?
Yeah, which was great. And then they canceled it because they were making more money with the BR.
Yeah, I didn't know how to play the game initially when I touched Fortnite, so I got lost. I don't know. I think I'm getting old, maybe. So I just don't know. I can't. I died.
Just play Apex, bro.
Which one?
Just play Apex.
Apex Legends. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still can't play FPS.
Warzone's all right, but Apex I think is the best one.
I still can't play FPS. I mean, I don't mind playing games with guns as long as they're third person, like Warframe and some of those other games. But honestly, I can't aim. I can't. My aim is shit.
Can't save your life. Yeah.
I would be a liability to you guys if I'm playing a first person game because literally I
Well, you have no depth of field, right?
Yeah, because
yeah.
of this thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because the kids.
I didn't even know about that till now. So how are you such a good like sword fighter if you're blind in one eye?
Well, that's what they got Date Masamune, you know, the one-eyed dragon. You know, he's that good.
Okay.
All right, then you got
Yeah, but
Zatoichi, the no-eye dragon.
The blind samurai
Yeah,
is
yeah,
different, you know.
Yeah, obviously.
Well, for me, it's because you know the concentration is fully on the right eye. That's why it takes me a while to actually, when it comes to the aiming, it actually takes a long time. When I play Ghost of Tsushima, I don't go with the I use auto aim if I use the bow and arrow because there's no time for me to actually if I aim, I would take way too long and the archers would just
Yeah, and that's the point of accessibility. Like, if you played The Last of Us or The Last of Us 2, like the new one, the remake, or the second game, the one that came out right before it, dude, there's so many options that you can tweak on there. Like because of your it's the best in the industry, you know.
So you're saying because of certain handicaps?
Many kinds. They have so many baked in that you can change according to
in
it.
the remake.
The remake and in part 2.
Okay.
They even have like if you're
Colorblind.
not just colorblind, they have another one where if your depth perception is messed up, you can change something. They have another one where you can make the character like your main character is blue, and the other ones are like red or green. It makes it just like so you can differentiate it better. And like there's so much stuff, you know.
Just going back to that first person thing, you know the reason why the barriers to entry for us people is they train 5-year-olds to play those games. You can start playing those games, and then as you grow older, and every year they have iterations of that stuff.
Yeah.
So they get trained from 5 years. So you can't compete with them.
And
It's not the life, man. You gotta work.
And you, dude, as you get older, it is a fact. Your reflexes slow.
Oh yeah.
Like my fingers, I can't. Like my family, they do the thing where they cross the. I can't cross my fingers by myself anymore.
No way.
You know what I mean? No, I can't. I have to go like this.
You have to force it.
You know what I mean? I can't do this. I used to be able to do this thing like for a dance move. I can't. You know what I mean? So your fingers stiffen up, your reflexes slow down, and you get less patient with people.
Yeah.
So there's lots of stuff
To relate to your current comment, resilient praxic.
Projects maybe.
Okay.
Project. Yeah.
So he or she is agreeing with you, because you need to have the complete package. You need good mechanical skills with the game sense. The more intricate details in playing the game, rather than just going on autopilot.
Yeah.
There are some games that just go on autopilot, especially mobile games these days. You just go autoplay. You know, there's no time to enjoy the fun. Even the RPG games these days,
ARPGs now, like hack.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, I'm older now, and I do have like, you know, my reflexes aren't as fast. At least, you know, like some 13-year-old. Obviously, it's realistic, but you can make up for that kind of stuff by outthinking and everything else. Like I played the Modern Warfare 2 beta, and I did awesome. You know, I kept getting first, second, depending on the game mode. You know, that kind of thing, because of my style, whatever it is, you know, depending on the type of map. So, you know, you can make up for that. You know, you still see, like, a lot of the older guys who used to be on the teams, and now they're just, like, streaming, one, because it's easier and you make more money, but, you know, they get older and they don't want to have to practice 6 to 8 hours a day. They just go and play and have fun.
Yeah, it's honestly the whole idea of competitive gaming. I mean, it's good and bad at the same time. It's good for business, but it's bad for those who play on a competitive level that you forget how to literally just sit back and enjoy the game. I mean, think of it this way. Back when you're a kid and you're just playing Mario or Sonic the Hedgehog or any of those old games before esports happened.
Yeah.
My niece and nephew are actually on the chat.
Aziz, are esports players athletes? No. Okay. Here's why he's wrong.
Olympics.
Okay. real esports athletes and teams. Okay, they have like a cohesive team. They have coaches. They have a schedule. They have exercise things they have to do.
What exercise things do you have to do for that? I mean,
No, they do like
coordination.
exercise routines and stuff, so they can stay in shape and healthy, and it helps with like
Coordination and everything.
yeah, like if you work out, you have better blood flow, all kinds of things, bro. There's a lot of stuff. You get I won't say that because we're trying to be a family show. Anyway, blood flow helps in other areas too.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
All right, so
But anyway, they are athletes because they plan plays together, everything. So that's why pro athletes now are sponsoring teams. They're opening whole like houses where all the people do is live there and practice, and then they do tournaments and all that kind of stuff. So I was like Aziz, I was like, ooh, not athletes when it first came out. But then I saw like what they were doing, and like they're doing the reflex machines and all this crazy stuff. Like that's an athlete.
Yeah, it's just like chess. I mean, you're not moving from your seat, but you're still thinking. You're still strategizing. Chess is still a sport. I would still say.
Yeah, it's a sport.
it's more mentally a mental sport than right.
Yeah, I wouldn't say they're like an athlete, but it's definitely a sport.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Think of it this way. I mean, I saw one time a guy who was making drawings on doing a music game, a music arcade game. You know those.
oh yeah.
Rock band.
No, not those. But yeah, Rock Band is a great game. I mean, one of those games that actually make you lose calories. You know, even karaoke games and things like. But he was doing those drum things.
Okay.
Yeah, so he was actually practicing his hand movements and coordination on paper before he does it on the actual game, the arcade. See how intense it can get.
Look at the hard mode in those games, man. You'll be amazed.
That's why I'm saying he was practicing on paper so he can compete on hard mode.
Yeah.
You know, this is what amazes me about certain games, things like that. You know, the competition on arcade and consoles and PC and all those other things. Not the console wars. No. That's another issue people don't want to get into, you know?
Yeah.
We're all gamers, except mobile gamers.
No,
kidding.
Hey, man.
That doesn't count anymore
I'm
either.
just kidding. I'm just
Hey,
kidding.
man.
I'm just kidding.
If
Hey,
you
man.
play
We're all
PUBG or
gamers.
Call of Duty Warzone and you throw on one of those good controllers, you're gonna be just as good as everybody else is doing. You know,
So if you add one of those,
like the Razer controller, which is
Oh.
available at Store 974. Anyway,
Yeah.
you can put
begin.
you can put the thing on there and then play it, and it's seamless. It's not like your thumbs are in the screen and everything else. You know.
Would you say that is more effective in terms of mobile gaming rather than touching the screen? I mean,
Yeah, of course.
Makes you more.
I mean, you get all the buttons and everything else. You know, you can map them all and all that stuff.
All right. What do you say, Lulu?
Yeah, I don't play in mobile. It's just very difficult for me.
Yeah,
Yeah, it depends on the game and stuff.
I tried playing a card game, Yu-Gi-Oh, on mobile, but that's the limit because it requires more of about how you play the game. It's a card because it's a card game, rather than just doing a lot of movement. But that's basically it.
All right.
So shall we wrap this up?
Yeah, I think that's good for this week.
Man, we did a random
Yeah,
topic.
that's the
and-
thing. Here's the thing, right? And you'll see it. Whatever your art form is or whatever you do, the stuff that you put time and effort into, nobody cares. But when you just do like some random thing, okay? Like, I don't know if you saw the video that we did with Lango in the Spider-Man outfit.
I did.
It's very quick, very random.
I
It
did.
took us like 20 minutes to film. Dude, it has so many views. But then when you have a thing where, like, I made a short documentary and it was like a fake history of the builders, and it took me like days to do the part 1 and part 2, and it got like 10% of the views. You know what I mean? So people like the fast, fun, doofy stuff. You know?
See, we were being completely random here. We didn't prepare for any of this. Okay, I didn't prepare for any of this. But you're okay. We didn't prepare any of this.
Yeah.
Lodi One, we're sorry. We
Yeah.
No worries, it's okay.
So yes, we had fun doing our random thing this week. Next week we'll be back with, it won't be random, but it'll definitely be more freeform and fun.
We'll be more prepared, inshallah.
We'll talk about 4 different comics. If you guys want, you can like check them out beforehand. One is called We Only Find Them When They're Dead. All right. The other one is called Buzzkill. And then there is, what are the other two?
God Country.
God Country
And something is killing the children.
Yeah, something is killing the children.
Last one should be fun for the kids.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And none of these pull punches. They're all very adult. It's kind of stuff you should be reading when you want a break from like Marvel and DC. So those are what we'll be talking about next week. You can look them up. They have bundles on like Humble Bundle all the time where you can buy them. So anyway.
All right. So don't forget to like and subscribe. Yes, I know it's a cliche line, but we have to say it.
Smash that like button.
Smash
What
that
you gonna
like
say?
button. Subscribe.
And at the beginning of your show, you gotta say, "What's up, everybody? Geeky and Riki here."
Hello, I am Sengoku QTR.
That's how you do You've intros.
Yeah, that's how I do it.
Oh god.
Well, technically, this is an outro. All right. So don't forget to like and subscribe. And we'll be sure to come back next week, same time.
Same bat channel.
Same one now?
Bat
Bad
channel.
channel.
Oh yeah.
Adam West.
Adam West.
Man.
Adam West. What? I'm having a bad memory day. All right. Same Qatartainment channel, same Qatartainment hosts. This was.
No, it won't be. It's gonna be. He's not gonna be here, so it's not.
Oh
gonna
yeah,
be the
you're
same
not gonna
host.
be here.
Yeah, your beloved Aziz.
We're gonna have Aziz here with
next
more
week.
brilliant opinions.
Yeah, about how his favorite game.
I feel like this thing. I don't have any reason or backing, nothing to say about it. But this is how I feel.
Okay.
All right, cut.
I'm sorry.
Done.
Wait. All right, so like and subscribe, and we'll
we're
be back
done,
next
right?
week. Same Qatartainment channel.
We already said all this. Cut. End the broadcast.
All right. Single QTR, Geeky Amriki, and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Ciao, guys. See you next week.